Well, hey there, Pawpaw Chronicles, and welcome to the Pawpaw Chronicles and More with Jim. Well, the fruiting season is just about done. I have one cluster left in this tree and 3 clusters left in this tree. Still a little bit too firm to harvest. Canopus and Rigel. Well, something I want to talk to you about is a little bit on symbiotic relationships. Now, what is going on beneath the surface of these trees? And something that I've been using quite a bit of when transplanting seedlings into individual pots or graduating seedlings from smaller pots to bigger pots is mycorrhiza. Well, mycorrhiza is below the ground, and it attaches itself to the root system of the trees, and then it pulls nutrients from the ground around the area to feed the tree, to help feed the tree. But there has to be a reason for mycorrhiza to do that. It's not going to attach itself for no reason at all. Now, I could be wrong in my way of thinking, but I think quite a bit, as you all know. The leaves are collecting chlorophyll and photosynthesis, and it's converting that into a carbonated type sugar that sends it back down through the tree to the root system. The mycorrhiza filters that out, and it feeds off what the leaves are sending down into the ground. In return, the mycorrhiza is pulling, once again, like I said, nutrients from the ground to feed the tree. So in essence, the two are working together. One feeds the other feeds the one. And one of the things that I've done and I've practiced for the last couple of years to help my trees is foliage feed. Now the trees are finally starting to change colors because we're losing light. The nights are getting longer, the days are getting shorter, and these trees will be going dormant here within the next probably month, maybe 5 weeks from now. But that being said, you know, foliage feeding these trees, whatever these trees take in, is being directed into the ground, and once again it's feeding the mycorrhiza, and in turn feeding the tree. The mycorrhiza is. And we end up with very, very vigorous growth. Just had an acorn fall on the shed back there. These two trees have really bolstered as far as branching out and putting out leaves and putting out stems. And I'm looking through the two trees, and I tell you, there is a lot of scion to be had. Rigel, I believe, was a tree that was grafted in 2021. Somewhere in there I've got a tag. Once the leaves fall, I'll find that tag. And there's a tag in Canopus, which Canopus was grafted in 2022, 2 years ago. So I had a tree right here that was starting to break puberty, and I grafted on to the tree, and I cut limbs back and I grafted into the limbs, and I converted the tree from a seedling to Canopus. Not one limb, not one leaf in this tree is from that seedling. Every bit of it is from the grafting that I did. And I believe there was a total of 11 grafts that went into here, and 9 grafts that went into this one here. The year before I did the same thing with this tree, and some of the grafts got broke out by a deer, but it really took off and did extremely well. And like I said, there's an awful lot of scion wood here for me to collect from. And getting back with this scenario of symbiotic relationship is the mycorrhiza pumped this tree up. But in the same token, by me foliage feeding these trees, I believe I may have pumped up the mycorrhiza into overtime. I don't know, but they have really grown. Just something that I want to share with you about that. You know, I stopped at Redfern Farms, Tom Wall's orchard, and he had his trees planted, his pawpaw trees planted amongst chestnut trees. He had chestnut orchard, and down that row, chestnut pawpaw, chestnut pawpaw, chestnut pawpaw. And it got me to thinking, is there a symbiotic relationship between the two trees? Because both trees, in essence, the pawpaw indigenous to North America, as well as the chestnut, was indigenous to North America, although the American chestnut is no longer with us. Chinese chestnuts, hybrid chestnuts, a chestnut is just that, a chestnut. And something else that I noticed is that pawpaws don't mind living under walnut trees. Is it something within that pawpaw that acclimated itself to be able to handle the nastiness that you get from a walnut tree? Because a lot of plants won't live under a walnut tree. Is there a symbiotic relationship? I don't know. But it was just something that I wanted to share my thoughts. Anyways, my name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. Don't forget to click on that bell for any notifications. Any comments or questions that you may have, I welcome.